weeks later, they came back and said, look, we watched the tape from your buddy in South Carolina. We have no interest in him whatsoever. We don't think he's got any career in this business, but we like the gimmick. We like the character. And we're going to refine it a little bit, and we're going to call it the Trooper. And we want to put it on you. We think with the look that you've got and with that Southern accent, you'd be the perfect Trooper character. So that's where that came from.
Okay, awesome. You also won the AWA World Tag Team Championship with DJ Peterson. What was it like to win the Tag Team Championship?
Well, it was somewhat bittersweet, and I say that because, the AWA at that point in time was literally on life support. They were struggling to stay afloat, and at one time they were probably one of, if not the best territories in the wrestling business. A lot of great stars had come out of there, but they were no longer that same company. They were struggling. Vince had gone worldwide and had just sucked up and devoured all the regional territories and regional companies. And the AWA was just really struggling to stay afloat. And, it was apparent to those of us that worked there that the writing was on the wall and it probably wasn't going to last much longer. But yet at the same time, when they put the belts on DJ and I mean, it was a great feeling of pride and accomplishment that they thought enough of us to put the tag team belts on us. And DJ and I were the last AWA tag team champions ever. And unfortunately, shortly after we won the belts, not only did the company close up, but DJ lost his life in a motorcycle accident. So it was a bittersweet thing.
Wow, that's crazy. that's definitely crazy. My last question before I send it back to my co-host. What was it like feuding with Al Perez in GWF?
Well, I'd heard of Al. I knew of Al. Al had a good reputation as a good worker, a dependable hand. And so I enjoyed working with Al.
Hey, sorry guys, we lost the live broadcast a few minutes ago. Did my best to bring it back up as soon as I could. But I will tell you that the whole interview is available at WrestleTalkPodcast.com. All you guys got to do is find the most recent show. It'll be there. Click the banner, whatever, you can hear the whole interview. I apologize to everybody. There is still time to call in and interact with Del Wilkes at 650-383-1521. Feel free to call in. We'll get you in right away.
There were a lot of us there that were sort of in the infancy of our career, and we were able to work with these seasoned veteran guys like Al Perez, Bill Eadie, Stan Lane, many others. So it was a great experience working with Al. I got in the ring, I shut my mouth, and I listened, and that was the best thing I could do.
And sometimes I think that's lost on the younger generation. I've heard certain promoters and some vets, calling out the greenhorns for maybe not being that great of listeners and maybe kind of thinking they already have everything figured out. And I know that in an interview in the past, it's actually back in 2007, you did an interview with a guy named Justin Kier, I believe his name was. And amongst the things that were discussed in that interview, you guys talked about Chris Benoit. You guys talked about some of the demons that you dealt with during your career, mainly addiction and some other things that you were dealing with during your college years. We know that's far past and behind you, but I'm curious, Del, if you could advise young wrestlers, and fortunately we have a lot of young wrestlers that watch the Wrestle Talk podcast and listen to us, what advice would you give them, being a guy that has enjoyed so much success both in the football arena and then also in the squared circle?
Well, my advice would be the Lord has blessed you with one body, only one, and you need to take care of it. And it is what you're going to make if whether you're a football player or whether you're a professional wrestler. This is your money maker. This is what you're going to use to further your career, to build your career, to make a living, to be able to live out a lifelong dream that most people in pro wrestling have had. I guarantee you just about everybody that's ever had a career in pro wrestling, it started out as a dream as a kid. You're watching it on TV, you get hooked, you fall in love with it, and you dream of one day being that guy on TV or being that guy when you went to a live show and those guys you saw in the ring. And you're blessed with one body. Take care of it. Treat it right. You're only going to get one opportunity at this. And it is a tough business, regardless of the fact that it is a word. It's a predetermined outcome. We know who's going to win. We know who's going to lose. It's entertainment. It's still tough on your body. And don't put things into your body that would harm your body, be it drugs, alcohol, anything like that. And use your body wisely. I'll never forget when I went to work in All Japan for Mr. Baba, the greatest promoter, in my opinion, that's ever lived. And here I was, a 295-pound guy that was a tremendous athlete. God bless me. He gave me some athletic ability, and I could do things that other guys 290 pounds couldn't do. Great drop kicks, get on the top rope, Patriot missile halfway across the ring, drop kicks off the top rope. Those things look good. But I'll never forget a piece of advice Stan Hansen gave me one night. He pulled me aside and he said, look, he said, those things you do, they look great. They're impressive for a big guy. He said, but I'm going to tell you this, if you keep doing them, you're going to cut your career short. A 290-pound guy is not meant to get up on that top turnbuckle night after night after night after night and do a flying shoulder, do a drop kick off that top turnbuckle. He said you need to watch what you do. Take better care of your body so that body will last you longer and you can have a longer, more successful, sustained career. And I didn't listen. And eventually those injuries started occurring and cut my career short. So take care of the body that the good Lord has blessed you with. You're only going to get one of them.
Great advice from the Patriot Del Wilkes, ladies and gentlemen. And, you speak of an injury. As I was doing my research, I couldn't help but notice that back in 97, you were scheduled to team up with Vader, Goldust, Johnny B. Bad, who at that point was known as Mark Marrow, in Survivor Series that year. And just a couple of weeks earlier, you suffered your tricep injury, which inevitably ended up, sending you one step closer to the end of your in-ring career. So, guys, when you hear the advice from Del, take it to heart, because this guy has been there. He didn't read it in a book somewhere. He didn't, read it on the back of a magazine. This guy has lived it. And for somebody who had that much success, you've got to believe that the advice that he's giving to you is good advice. It's as good as gold. And with that being said, I wanted to ask you one last thing before we let you go, Dylan. Hopefully we get an opportunity to do a part 2. I feel like maybe we should do another half hour, because it sounds to me like you've got a bunch of great stories to tell. But I wanted to ask you about your feelings about the song Metal. And a lot of people don't know this. But during your time in WWF, you used the song Metal, which Sergeant Slaughter used for a while too. And then in November of 1999, a young man by the name of Kurt Angle started using that song. I'm curious, was that something that would bother a guy like you, or was it something that you were like, it's all good, I'm not using it anymore, no big deal? Because that inevitably ended up becoming, he polarized that song. It kind of became his song, but a lot of people don't know that it was one that you used many years before.
Well, first of all, I would love to do a part 2 with this. I agree with you. I don't think 30 minutes, 20 minutes is long enough for us to talk about the things we could. So I'm open to doing just that. So I'm cool with that. Now, to answer that, Kurt Angle probably got that the same way I did. I'd never heard of that song prior to getting to the WWF. They sat down with me one day and played several different songs, asked me what I liked the best. I said option C or whatever, A, B, whatever it was, A, B, C. I like that song. Let's go with it. And I didn't know the name of it. I didn't know that was the name of it until you just told me that. It was a song they gave me. I liked it. It sounded good. And I'm sure Kurt got it the exact same way. And it did not bother me one bit. Not one bit. I could have cared less. It worked for him as well. So, good for him. But no, it didn't bother me at all.
That's phenomenal. That speaks to your humility and the kind of guy that you are. And then my very last, truly last question is, of all the guys you got an opportunity to work with in the business, who do you keep in touch with still? I know you worked with Jimmy Hart. I know you worked with Jim Johnston. I mean these guys that give you the songs or whatever, but I mean you work with a couple of guys in the ring as well. Joe talked about DJ a little bit earlier, and then when you were in WCW, you also work with Buff Bagwell. So how many of those guys do you still keep in touch with these days?
I still keep in touch with a lot of the guys. I still keep in touch with Stan Hansen. I still keep in touch with Nikita Koloff. I talk to Lex occasionally. Scott Steiner. I keep in touch with a good bit of the guys. As a matter of fact, just today I talked to Fidel Sierra, the Cuban assassin.
Oh, cool.
But the one I probably have the closest relationship with and talk to the most, I talk to Austin and communicate with Steve several times a year, a number of them, but the one I've got the closest relationship to and talk with probably monthly is Bagwell. Marcus and I are very, very close, and we always have been. I basically consider him a brother. We spent about 2 years together on the road in WCW, and we've always remained close. And so out of everybody, I probably communicate with Marcus more than anybody else. He's just a champ of a guy. He's a good friend, and I'm glad that I can call him a friend.
No doubt. And I'll be honest, I'll make a confession. Buff is one of the guys that we've kind of had on our wish list, and hopefully someday, if he would be gracious enough to spare some of his time, we'd love to have him on as well. But I will say this, Del, I knew that lining this interview up with you was going to be a blessing. I want to again thank Sonny Mayo for kind of helping facilitate it. But now that we've had you on, there's no doubt in my mind that we need to do this 4 to 6 weeks down the road again. Give us a little bit more time to get through some of the stuff that I know we could get through. And I'll tell you what, it's been an honor to be a fan of yours. I know a lot of our listeners, whom we call the Wrestle Talk family, were really excited when we put out the word that you were coming on. And I'm sure they'll be equally excited to know that you're going to be coming on again. So all we can do is thank you and let you know how much we appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you guys for having me on. I look forward to being back on. There's so much we can talk about and cover, and also, too, hopefully next time I'll sound a little better as well. So I look forward to it.
Okay, sounds great, and hopefully you put in a good word for us with a couple of your buddies, because as you know, in this business, content is indeed king. For those who don't know, DaleThePatriotWilkes.com is your one-stop shop for everything Dale Wilkes. You can get merch. You can keep up on what Dale is doing now. You can look back and see some of his career highlights. And yeah, you can always search YouTube or whatever and find some of his best matches. So we're going to do what we can to continue to spread the word about DaleThePatriotWilkes.com. And we truly look forward to talking to you again soon, my friend.
Well, I appreciate it. And before I go, I appreciate you bringing up the website. You can get T-shirts, pictures, masks there. And probably for the last year, our best-selling item off the website is the documentary on my life and my career. It's a 3-disc set, and a lot of the guys that we mentioned tonight are on there. They took part in it, and you can buy it off the website. and all items will be autographed as well. So check it out, DaleThePatriotWilkes.com.
You got it. We'll continue to plug away.
Do that.
Joe, you want to say goodbye before we go off the air?
Just thank you, sir, for coming on. I cannot wait till to have you come on again and talk to you some more about wrestling. I mean, I'm sure that you have a lot of stories, and we just can't wait to get you back on again.
Well, I appreciate it. It's a passion of mine. I've loved pro wrestling since I was 8 years old, so I'd be more than honored to be back on whenever you guys would like to have me.
All right. Thanks a lot, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Wow, dude. Wow.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I want to apologize just quickly here. We lost the Facebook feed about halfway through that interview. Did my best to get it back on. But guys, the Facebook feed is great. It's not the place, though, if you want to enjoy the show at its very best quality. Man, WrestleTalkPodcast.com. Through Blog Talk Radio, you can listen to it. Put your headphone in, turn your phone off, save some battery life, and listen to the whole show. But what we want to do is, I know some of the people that were listening were probably cut off. So we do have the archive that you can hear the rest of the interview. But we want to also play part 2 of the Danny Duggan interview. We're going to leave you with that because it was a fantastic interview. Intern Timmy, can we start queuing that up, please? Del Wilkes, Danny Duggan, all the members of the FWWC, Big Daddy P, of course, Sonny Mayo, who we mentioned just a few minutes ago, that helped facilitate Del Wilkes coming on the show, Jay Hollywood, just everybody that's been a part of the show today. You guys have made it fantastic. The Facebook live broadcast was a huge success, even though it was kind of on and off with the connection. And then, of course, even Periscope was with us about an hour and a half throughout the show, and then ended up kind of dying on me as well. I'm calling Time Warner Spectrum, and I'm complaining here fairly soon. But before I can do that, Joe, Timmy, let's go ahead and cut to the second part of that Danny Duggan interview, if that's possible.
All right. Let's do that.
Good night, everybody.
Muted.
Dude, it's very much like in hockey and in football. I mean, the mentality is always what? Next man up, right? One guy goes down, one guy can't make it. It's not for the next guy to step up. And that's exactly it. These guys are so hungry to be the best. And once again, I thought one of the cool things with these shows is that there being so many guys from so many different regions that headline their areas, you really have a main event guy in every match, from the first match to the last match. So when somebody can't make it, it's an easy take this guy from here and insert him here, and we have just as good of a match where we're supposed to have that main event. So we don't stress too much about those things anymore because we have that depth and we have that crowd support, and people are really, really behind our brand right now, and they're really understanding. It's a real kind of cult following where a lot of our fans, a lot of our markets feel a part of the team, and they are a part of the team and helping this thing grow. So it's all kind of a joint effort, a family effort for building wrestling as a team. Oh, and that's fantastic. And I mean, I think we take that same approach here on Wrestle Talk. Just a few weeks ago, I wasn't feeling too well, and Brandon, our resident blogger, and also Joe, Nightmare Joe, stepped up and took care of business for us. So it's definitely always good to have that team atmosphere. Now, you're talking about having a lot of great guys. There's one guy in particular that always kind of catches my attention. I think he's highly entertaining and super duper talented. And maybe you can elaborate or speak on him a little bit. By the name of Travis Cole. So maybe share a little bit more about him, maybe in ring, out of there, or whatever. Because I just think he's the coolest guy, man. I love it. I get the chance to meet him and interview him as well. But he just happens to be one of those guys that, whether you love him or hate him, the fans can have a reaction to him. Yeah, Travis Cole, he's about 4 years in. We took him on as a pet project a couple of years ago. He was out of the Land Storm Wrestling School in Calgary. He moved to Winnipeg to travel to CWE and be a more regular face on our events. And because of that, he's developed into quite the talent. So he's been touring with us for about 2 years now. I want to say the young guy on the road, even though he's been touring with us 2 years now, in terms of experience and age and things of that nature, he's the young guy on the road. So he's still learning the business as he goes, but he's all ears and he's always listening. And he's finally starting to come into his own. He's finding a character and a personality that fits for him. He's getting comfortable with his wrestling, and he's really developing into something special for us. So he's someone to watch out for. And make sure you look him up if you haven't seen him in Travis. He's got a very unique style, and he's highly entertaining. And when you're talking about highly entertaining, unique style, I can't help myself but to ask this question. I noticed that on a Canadian Wrestling League's Facebook page, you've already started promoting a match coming up February 11th between Caitlin Diamond and the world-renowned beauty, Katie Forbes, who I'm going to be hanging out with her boyfriend in a couple of hours at the one of the RBD show, or I should say, the RBD show. So, I'm curious, women's wrestling is bigger than it's ever been anywhere, anytime. How important is it to you to make sure that women's wrestling is a part of what you guys are doing? We're really excited to have it because there's very few women wrestlers in any distance of us. So there's none locally. There's none within a reasonable drive. So there's this event we're doing in Dennisville, Manitoba. I want to say it's our 4th or 5th event out there. We go out there a couple times a year and do fundraising for that community. And they want to give women's wrestling a try. So we just happened to do an event, House of Hardcore, at the beginning of December where I met Katie Forbes for the first time and was completely blown away. Like you said, a world-renowned beauty. And when they said they wanted women's wrestlers, she was the first one that popped in mind because she's the total package. So she's coming here for the first time. Caitlin Diamond's a well-respected Canadian women's veteran. So I'm really excited to have some women's wrestling on our show because it's been almost, I want to say, a good year and a half since we last had it. And it's something we don't get too often in these neck of the woods. So we're going to work for something special that night. Yeah, no doubt about it. And folks who are not familiar with Katie Forbes in particular, just do a little bit of a Google search, and if you've not picked up your ticket yet, trust me, after you do that search, you will be more enticed to the club because she's truly a beautiful young lady. But don't get any ideas unless you're interested in catching a roundhouse kick and a 5-star frog splash from RVD himself, because that actually happens to be his old lady. So, last but not least, because I know your time is limited, you got to go get your back picture, whatever, after 12 days on tour. The Legends of Wrestling event coming up February 18th. I'm going to throw to you first, Joe. These are just some of the names that have been confirmed to be there, okay? And I want to kind of get your thoughts, Joe, because I know this was the event that we were trying to get to. So try not to cry, but I want to know how excited you are to hear these names. Lenny Poffo, Howard Finkel, Arn Anderson, Bobby Heenan, Paul Orndorff, Tully Blanchard, and, some little guy named Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Joe, how pissed are you that we're not going to be able to make it, man, and how great do you think this event's going to be?
Dude, I am so upset that we are not going to be able to make it because every single one of those wrestlers that you named was wrestlers that I used to watch when I was a kid. So it'd be like meeting the wrestlers that I used to watch when I was younger. And dude, it would have been so awesome just to be in the same room as all of those wrestlers would have been absolutely incredible. Even if I didn't get the opportunity to talk to any of them or get the autographs, just being in the same room with them would have been absolutely awesome.
No doubt about it. You mentioned some of the names that are there. There's 3 other names that we can names that have been added by vendors. Territory wrestling icon out of Portland, Oregon. The grappler Len Denton will be in the building, as well as Cyrus from ECW, Jackal in WWF. And one guy has gotten an incredible response. I want to say he may even be the most popular response here, specifically in Winnipeg, due to his AWA roots. We have Baron Von Raschke who's going to be in the building as well. So we're really excited.
Can he have his lunch back?
That's
please?
awesome.
That is awesome. My goodness, Cyrus, dude. No ECW stuff. And by the way, we're working on potentially having Jeremy Lynn on, so I know Joe in particular, huge old school ECW fan, right, Joe?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I can't wait.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see, just briefly, Danny, this event, the Legends of Wrestling event, which is February 18th, how does something like this get put together? Because from what I understand, it's not a wrestling event, per se, as far as in-ring competition. So how does something like this come together? And I'm sure it takes a lot of people to make it happen, but how long have you guys been working on it, and kind of what was the inspiration in bringing all these guys, super talented legends together all in one place?
Well, it's kind of funny you asked that, because when he first called me before we went on the air here, I was actually in a meeting with the guy that I first discussed this with, and we're talking about how fast it's gone by, because now with the CWE schedule, when one tour is finished, we go right into the next, and 3 months later we have a tour, and it's all part of the cycle. We started putting this thing together, I want to say, beginning of July. So it's been about 8, 9, 10 months now that we've been putting this thing together, and it's coming up in a couple weeks, and I feel like we still need more time because it's such a big event, and it's a lot different than setting up a ring and running a wrestling show, because we're dealing with so many different aspects, and there's so many different activities going on that day, and because it's a convention, we're dealing with 50 plus vendors that had to go and be acquired, and that we have to work with on the details of. So and just being this scale of an event, to deal with like the city of Winnipeg, getting the permits and the zoning and all that stuff, it's been absolutely insane, and definitely an eye-opening experience putting this thing together. But the reason we put it together is we built such a good base here in Winnipeg, and we become kind of the destination for Canadian wrestling in Central and Western Canada, that we felt that we could take our, roll the dice and take a chance at something bigger like this, because these events are really popular in some of the major U.S. markets, but there's never been anything done like this in Central or Western Canada before. So we want to be the first to kind of put our flag on the moon, so to speak, and say we're the first ones that give it a try. And we've got the built-in market now to do it, because we tour so many towns. We have people traveling in from every one of those touring markets to come see this event. And it's turning out to be a huge success. The last Winnipeg event we did, we had like 650 plus people in the building. We had to legally turn people away. That's how big wrestling is getting here in Winnipeg with CWE. So we felt, with our touring model, it's not ideal to bring Bobby the Brain Heenan on the road for 12 days at this stage of his career, but fans still want to see him. There's still a demand for names like that. So this is a really cool opportunity for us to still highlight and present stars that people want to see outside of our regular, business model. So we're really excited about kind of branching out. And I can tell you, the second this is done, and this goes on February 18th, I can tell you February 19th, I'm going to be absolutely exhausted from, a 16-plus hour day the day before, but I'm going to be sitting down with a pen and paper and working on round 2, because it's gotten such a good response. I'm really looking forward to doing it all again and seeing how we can make it bigger for next year.
That's fantastic, and I know I'm getting excited just hearing you talk about it. And you can go ahead and put this on your calendar, ladies and gentlemen. God be my witness, and with his help, we'll make this happen. But in 2018, show up in the ring. If we're given the grace to continue to walk this earth, we will be there for the event. It's in February, it's in March, it's April, Joe, 2018. Chalk it up. Let's go ahead and start saving up for the plane tickets or whatever, because we are absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, on any true catastrophe, going to make the 2018 show. I'm putting down.
You guys are close. You can even do the car trip. It's not that far of a drive for you guys.
Well, Joe lives in West Virginia. I live in KC. So for me, it's not all that bad, but for Joe, I think it'd be about a day. So maybe I'll just have him fly here and then we'll drive up there.
There you go.
That would be cool. Well, I did want to touch on one non-CWE related topic, because I have to get your opinion on this, but it is Canadian related, okay? And this is about Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. And I don't know how much you follow the fight, but how cool is it for you to see those guys basically sitting on top of the mountain? I mean, right now, I don't think there's anybody more popular and more over than Chris Jericho, and with Kevin Owens right there beside him. Those guys are highly entertaining. There's a certain sense of nationalistic pride there, or do you love those guys? I mean, what are your feelings on seeing two Canadians basically at the very top of the mountain right now?
Oh, it's absolutely great. Anytime we see Canadian talent get an opportunity on the big stage, we're excited for them. So to see them in the position they are is even better. Actually, when I did my Raw security spot in October, it was actually in the segment with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. It was very cool for me. Yeah, because Chris Jericho is a Winnipeg boy, so he's kind of always been the guy on the pedestal that us as Winnipeg wrestlers have always looked up to is, hey, he made it, so there's hope for us too, because we are in the middle of nowhere in the grand scheme of the wrestling business. So to see someone like him go and have the worldwide success he's had has always put him up on that pedestal to say, hey, there's a chance for me definitely really happy that they're kind of dominating the wrestling world right now. And there's so many other Canadians too. Bobby Roode, the NXT champion right now. Kenny Omega is from Winnipeg as well, and he's on top of New Japan. Ty Dillinger just debuted in the Rumble. Sami Zayn out of Boston, so that was great. Yeah. So Canadians are dominating the wrestling world right now. It's a great time. Yeah, I wish I could say the same about us Mexicans. I mean, right now we have Kalisto, and that's about it. Oh, man, it's been a big one. And as I sit here and stare at my Alberto Del Rio figurine, tears. So, Danny, I would say you guys will always have El Dandy. And we might always have El Dandy. And we're always have Eddie Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero, that was wonderful. But anyway, Eddie, listen, I know that you've got to get your back home taken care of. Joe and I are definitely excited for everything that you guys have going on. CWE, ladies and gentlemen, official sponsor of the Wrestle Talk Podcast.com. You visit our page, visit the sponsorship tab, click the CWE banner, and everything that you need to know about CWE is right there. They've got YouTube videos, they've got ticket information, a little bit of the history of the promotion, and everything there to keep you up to date with what's going on with Danny Duggan and the boys. Joe, say your goodbyes. It's time for Danny to go.
Danny, thank you so much for coming on to the show. We wish the best for the Legend show. Hopefully it goes great. And next year, we will definitely be there. And we can't wait to have you on the show once again.
Thanks a lot, Joe. I look forward to meeting you next year.
No doubt. And as a spoiler, Danny has committed to us in the best way that he can that on his next appearance on February 15th, he's going to be bringing at least a couple of those names that you heard a little bit earlier right here to the Wrestle Talk Podcast, where the voice of the wrestling fans will always be heard. Danny, you be safe out there, man. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks, buddy.
Thanks a lot, Renee.
Be safe. Adios.
Unmuted.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Joe, please. I'm sorry.
That was the part 2 of the interview with Danny Duggan. It was a great interview. We've gone 23 minutes over, but that's okay because go to the Wrestle Talk Podcast, listen to the whole thing. You can come to the Blog Talk Radio, listen to the whole thing. So it's all good.
Dude, it is all good. Let me tell you how good it is. I'm currently messaging back and forth with Del Wilkes. He will be back on, let me see here, March 15th. So go ahead and put that in your calendars, guys. Del Wilkes will be back March 15th. I think there was a lot of ground that we were not able to cover in the 25 minutes that he was on the show with us. And then also, through this connection with Del Wilkes, I have a very, very strong feeling that we're going to be able to get Buff Bagwell on the show as well. So stay tuned. Keep tuned in and locked into WrestleTalkPodcast.com or through our social media avenues, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Definitely going to be bringing you guys up to speed with what we have coming up. Also want to let everybody know that for March 8th, we've secured Savio Vega, Puerto Rican wrestling legend, Hall of Famer in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in Puerto Rico, and then also very well known for everybody for that stuff he did during the Attitude Era. So with that being said, Joe, it's time to get out of here. I got to hit the store, man. I love all the fans and the listeners of the show, even those folks who are listening through the replay on the archive. We appreciate you, and there's no doubt in my mind that the show's going to continue to get bigger and better in 2017. I love you, Joe. You're the best, and we will catch you guys about this same time next week.